In previous video, we explained all about this standard automatic changeover switch complete concept, but there was one problem occurring. For example, if we turned on generator power supply, then load was running through the generator power supply, you can see. Now, if the main power supply turns on at the same time, you can see that load is automatically runs through the main power supply. If the main power supply is off, your load will running through the generator power supply. Now, many times what happen is that your main power supply returns immediately like this, and if this condition is happening repeatedly, that means your main power supply is turning on and off. Then in that condition, whatever your standby power supply or the generator, it also turns on and off repeatedly. In this condition, your generator can also be damaged. Also, the load in your house, especially sensitive load, can also be damaged. So to avoid this condition, we just connect this timer with this standard automatic changeover switch. Let's see what happens when timer is connected with this standard automatic changeover switch. After that, we will learn connections practically. Okay, for example, if generator or standby power supply is on, so load is running through the generator power supply. Now if the main power supply is come, so first timer timing is start. You can see timer is running and we set 5 seconds. So for 5 seconds, it's check the power supply. If power supply is okay, so load automatically transfer to the main power supply. Okay, I hope you clear the concept. First timer timing is start when main power supply is come. Let's see one more time. If main power supply is off, so load is automatically transferred to the generator power supply. Okay, if main power supply comes again and it off before timer delay is completed. Okay, if delay is not completed, so switching will not happen. Okay, load is running through the generator power supply. If main power supply comes and it holds for delay time which you set in timer. Okay, if it holds for delay time, after that switching will happen and load is running through the main power supply. I hope you clear the concept. Now let's see some basic information of this standard automatic changeover switch. So in this changeover switch, first it's a power terminal. Okay, you can see it's a power terminal, and upper side you just need to connect to main power supply or normal power supply which comes in your home. Okay, so normal power supply should be installed on upper side, and it's known as source A, in which you need to connect to main power supply line in neutral here. And standby power supply, it could be solar panel supply or generator power supply. You just need to connect a standby power supply here. And in place of load, okay, in place of load we connect one bulb. Okay, in place of load we just connecting this bulb. So load connection should be done in downside here. Okay, so it's power terminal. And for control terminal, okay, control terminal you can see for upper side normal power supply AR and AN terminal. For normal power supply feedback line in neutral, you just need to connect here for normal power supply feedback. Okay, and for standby power supply feedback you need to connect BR and BN terminal for generator or standby power supply feedback. So just need to connect a standby power supply feedback here. Okay, I hope you clear the. Also we have one auto and manual switch. Okay, if you select it to the manual mode, then you just need to transfer your supply manually. Okay, if you want to run your load on main power supply, so just select on main power supply. If generator power supply, so just select a generator power supply. Also we have an auto switch. In auto mode, first load run on main power supply. If main power supply is off, so load will run automatically to generator or a standby power supply. Okay, if main power supply comes back again, so load automatically transfer to the main power supply. I hope you clear the concept. By this changeover switch, you can control 100 ampere load, okay, of 220 volt AC. That means by this changeover switch, you can control single phase load. Okay, now let's see practically connection how to install this changeover switch. So it's main power supply, it's generator power supply. Okay, first we connect a line connector with main power supply and connect this connector to normal power supply main power supply line terminal. Okay, make sure all connections should be fully tight. For neutral connection, we connect to one connector for neutral and connect to the neutral terminal here. So main power supply line and neutral connects here. Now for standby power supply, first we connect line wire and connect to the standby power supply line terminal. For neutral, just connect one connector and connect it to the neutral terminal of standby power supply. So both power supply connection is done. Now for operating this changeover switch, just need to give feedback to the control terminals. But in this video, we will give feedback through this timer. Okay, this is on delay timer. We will connect to the control of main power supply. If main power supply is off and it comes again, so first timer timing is start. Okay, and if you set 5 seconds, so for 5 seconds it holds the power supply, and if power supply is okay, then it transfer to the changeover switch. Okay, so if main power supply first come, so first timer timing is start, after that your changeover switch will works. Okay, I hope you clear the concept. For connection, A1 and A2 terminal is coil, A1 terminal is here and A2 terminal is here, in which we need to connect a line in neutral. Okay, 15 number point is common. You can see 15 number point is common, 15 and 16 is NC. Okay, so for 5 seconds 15 and 60 supply comes. So for after and 18 number point is NO. So after 5 seconds complete, NO terminal supply, 18 number terminal supply comes. Okay, so first for operating this timer, first we connect a line, okay, of main power supply. In normal condition, just need to give feedback to the control terminal, but in this video we will give feedback through this timer. Okay, so first we connect line and neutral of main power supply to operate this timer. Okay, so first we connect one line wire here of main power supply. You can connect this connector from MCB output terminal. So line connector connects here, and for neutral of main power supply, when main power supply is come, so timer is start. Okay, timer timing is start. Okay, if main power supply comes, so first timer is start. Okay, and also we connect one main power supply connector to the timer common terminal. You can connect here and also from the MCB output, but MCB output comes here. So we connect one connector and connect this line wire to timer common point, which is 15 number point. That means normal power supply, main power supply line wire always comes here, and after 5 seconds, which you set delay in this timer, so after 5 seconds its supply comes in NO point. Okay, so for 5 seconds you can increase delay time as you are required. Okay, and connect to the AR terminal. If main power supply comes again, so after delaying time complete of this timer, this line wire comes to the AR terminal. Okay, so feedback comes after 5 seconds when main power supply is come. I hope you clear the concept. For neutral, just we connect one connector in neutral of main power supply and connect this connector to AN terminal. Neutral connects directly and line connects from timer NO point. I hope you clear the concept. Okay, so main power supply connection is. Now let's see generator power supply, the standby power supply connection. So just we connect one line wire of standby power supply and connect to the BR terminal. Okay, so connect to the BR terminal. And for neutral connection, just we connect one connector in neutral connector of standby power supply and connect to the BN terminal. Okay, so standby power supply connection is done. Okay, now for load connection. Okay, power and control wiring connection is almost done. For load connection, we connect to one this bulb. So for load connection, line and neutral connects from downside of this changeover switch. So first we connect one line wire here, and for neutral we connect this connector to neutral terminal. So load connection is almost done, all connection done. Okay, now let's see how it works. If generator power supply is come, so load is running through the generator power supply. Okay, now if main power supply is come. Okay, now if main power supply is come, so first the timer delay is start. Okay, so after timer delay complete, switching is done. Now load is running through the generator power supply. Okay, so timer is connected for the safety purpose of generator and also load. Okay, if main power supply off, okay, so load is running through the generator power supply. If main power supply comes again, so first timer delay will start. If all conditions is okay, if power supply comes continuously, then switching is happening and load is transferred to the main power supply. I hope you clear the concept how to install this automatic changeover switch and how to connect a timer for main power supply. If you like this video, please press like button. For today's enough. We'll meet in next video. Thanks for watching.